Open the fabric lining that needs to be ironed. 2 sheets of hot melt adhesive. 2 pieces of fabric lining, these 4 pieces are rectangular. There are also 2 pieces of fabric backing that are slightly harder and have different shapes. Prepare the pieces of fabric according to the size of the rectangular lining or hot melt adhesive. If you use fabrics like silk rod and brocade, must be pre-shrunk first. Cut the fabric after pre-shrinking. Cover it with a thin cotton cloth. Set the iron to silk. Iron at the speed of the video. Iron with steam, but don't leave it on for a long time. The fabric will be noticeably smaller after ironing. A cover fabric slightly larger than the lining fabric or hot melt adhesive is sufficient. Take out the hot melt adhesive that feels like paper. Completely separate the glue from the paper. This transparent layer is glue. This layer of glue has a relatively low melting point, so keep it away from the iron when peeling it off. Put the transparent tape on the back of the fabric. Then align the cotton fabric lining with the transparent adhesive. The particles on the lining are glue. 2 layers of glue and transparent tape overlapped. Align the adhesive side with the back of the fabric. Set the temperature to the silk setting. Cover with a layer of cotton cloth to prevent the glue from overflowing and sticking to the iron. Press and iron from the middle towards both sides. Iron at the speed shown in the video. Press down firmly while ironing. The edges are easy to overlook, so be sure to iron them well. After ironing, wait until it has cooled completely before checking. Must be checked after cooling. Check for bubbles. If there are any bubbles, you need to iron them out. Next, iron this piece of fabric lining, which has the same shape as the microfiber. However, it is slightly shorter than microfiber, as can be seen in the comparison. The fabric lining with particles is good job. Pay attention to the direction. The shape is narrow at the top and wide at the bottom. Place the lining fabric on top, leaving space at the bottom. Similarly, the rubber surface also has a grainy texture. Adjust the temperature to the silk setting. Press and iron from the middle towards both sides. Press down firmly according to the speed of the video. If this area does not stick well, you can use steam appropriately, but do not keep the steam on continuously. After ironing, wait for it to cool down, as the glue is still in the melted stage. Check after cooling. The ironing strips must be done properly. Iron well before sewing. Especially in the peripheral areas. Then iron the microfiber fabric. The pure white side has glue on it. The front side of the microfiber is uniform off-white. Align the adhesive surface with the freshly ironed lining. The bottom here is a little shorter. Because the bottom needs to be turned over to the front side, it should not be made too thick. So, align the ultra-fine fibers from above. Cover with a thin layer of cotton cloth. Cover with a thin layer of cotton cloth. Iron from the middle towards both sides, pressing down at the speed shown in the video. Never let the iron touch microfiber. After ironing, wait for it to cool down and then check it. Ironing is a very important step. Be sure to iron each layer of lining thoroughly. Trim after confirming that there are no problems. Trim according to the shape of the microfiber. The body of the bag is handled in this way. Iron the other piece using the same method. Both pieces of the bag body have been trimmed. Then sew the corner guards onto the bottom of the bag. These three are already sewn together. Measure a wax line twice the width of the bag body. Sew along the holes on the microfiber, showing this curve. Two needles pass through adjacent holes and pull the thread simultaneously. Then sew with two needles in an interlaced pattern. Pull the thread with your left hand and sew with your right hand. Sew the remaining stitches with any thread. Then return to suturing. The stitches on both sides are all sewn. On the back side, the lines overlap by 2 stitches. Sew another stitch on the front side. Use the same method to sew the 4 protective corners together. Then piece together the body of the bag. This is what it looks like when it's put together. With the fabric side facing down, the leather is layered on top. Then measure out a wax line 4.5 times the width of the line segment. Measure twice and fold in half. Add a little more. The suturing methods are all the same. Sew until there are only a few holes left. Sew the remaining holes with any thread. Then repeat 1 or 2 stitches with each needle, and cut the thread. Both pieces are sewn together. Select any part of the bag body, and sew the leather strips on both sides. One side of the leather feels thinner than the other. On one side is normal thickness. Place the thin side facing downwards. Don't make mistakes in the small details. Measure out wax thread 5 times the length of the leather piece. Sew along the side holes. The thin side of the leather should face downwards. This side is of normal thickness. The appearance after sewing one side. Suture the right side using the same method. Both sides have been sutured. Next, measure 3 times the length of the leather piece with wax thread. This position only connects the small section. Suture approximately 6 to 8 holes. Sew from the bottom toward the bag opening. At the end, reinforce with a single stitch. Because it needs to be turned over to the front side later, this position needs to be reinforced. Just sew a small section like this. Only a small section is sewn on both sides. Then sew the bottom of the bag. Take out the edging strip, bottom cover, and transparent tube. Place the interface on the side, with one hole overlapping on each side. First, measure out a length of wax thread 5 times the length of the edging strip. Place the holes on the reverse side of the edging strip and clamp it in place. Start sewing from the side. There are 3 large holes here. 心摸可以 lay on ultrafine fiber surfaces. These 3 large holes are aligned with the leather straps on the side of the bag. This position. Start sewing from the large hole on the left, aligning it with the second hole on the binding strip. Therefore, the first hole in the edging strip should be aligned with the center hole at the bottom of the bag. Pull out the transparent tube. Then align the left hole on the side of the package. Confirm these 3 large holes once again. First, suture the large hole on the left side. Align the second hole of the edging strip. Align with the left hole on the side strip. Sewing multiple layers of leather together. There are many layers, so it is essential to align the holes of each layer properly. And confirm that the transparent tube is under the seam line. Sew to the protective corner here. Increase the number of suture layers while paying attention to hole alignment. When suturing to the out position, each stitch must be pulled tightly and evenly. Otherwise, you will see the stitching marks when you turn the bag inside out. It wouldn't look so good. Each edge of the bottom of the bag has a large hole marked at the midpoint. There are also a large hole in the middle of the bag. Check when sewing to the midpoint. The large holes at the bottom and body of the bag are perfectly aligned. If they are not aligned, it means that there is an error in the previous suture, and the stitches need to be removed. If there are no problems, continue sewing. Sew to the side, ready to attach another binding strip. The remaining wax thread can continue to be sewn. Overlap the edging strip by one hole. The 3 large holes at the bottom of the bag align perfectly with the side leather trim. When the thread is used up, measure out wax thread 5 times the length of the remaining edging strip. Connect to the previous hole and continue sewing. The final stages. Pull out the transparent tube left at the front. Cut off the overlapping part at the end. Carefully organize the edging strips and rubber tubes. There are many layers here, so I'll pass through the corresponding holes in order. After sewing the bottom edge of the bag, repeat one stitch with each needle, and then cut the thread. The entire bottom of the bag has been sewn. Then process the thread ends. Use a disposable container to put a small amount of glue in it. Then stick it to the thread. Alternatively, you can use a lighter to treat the loose ends. All thread ends have been taken care of. Ready to turn over to the front side. First, flip out the middle section. Bend it a little to make it easier to flip. Use your fingers to push out the four bottom corners. After turning it over, install the bag bottom nails. Microfiber insert screw. Tighten the foot nails. Tighten with a screwdriver again. Put on the rubber sleeve. Install 5 bag bottom nails. Then sew up the sides. This part is relatively simple, and the suturing method is the same as before. Measure out wax thread 5 times the length of the leather piece. Both sides are sewn together. Next, take out these 2 pieces of microfiber. On the reverse side of the microfiber, measure 1 cm upward from the bottom edge and draw a line. Starting from the edge of the reverse side, measure 1 cm upward. Draw lines on true piece X of the true pieces of microfiber. Then apply double-sided tape along the hole, but do not cover the hole. Covering the stitching does not affect it. Stick it along the hole. After sticking it on, measure a wax line whose width is the length of the microfiber. Wear only one needle. Sewing the sides. Start inserting the needle from the second hole. Leave a small section of thread on the back. Sew it again. Repeat one stitch at the beginning and then to reinforce. Assemble the other side as well, with the microfiber side facing inward. Sew the three sides together and finish the thread ends. Remove the adhesive tape on top. Then check out the inner bag. Fold the inner pocket sideways and find the true midpoints of the bag body. Make a small cut to mark the spot. Mark the true midpoints. There is a strap on one side of the inner pocket. It is used to secure notebooks. Microfiber side seams, aligned with inner pocket stitching. Attach the inner pocket along the seam line as shown in the diagram. The side with the oval hole is aligned with the zipper bag. Make sure the four midpoints are aligned, and do not pull on the inner bag when sticking it on. Pay attention to alignment at the midpoint. After sticking it on, measure out a piece of wax thread 7 times the width of the package opening. Sew from the midpoint. When suturing, do not pull the thread too tightly. Apply even pressure when pulling the thread so that the stitches look neat. This section of the suture is relatively straightforward. The inner pocket is sewn all around. Then put the inner bag into the outer bag. First, confirm that the direction is correct. Trim the threads inside, then insert the inner bag. Then sew the D-ring. The small leather strap has 4 holes on one side and 6 holes on the other side. With the leather side facing outwards, threaded through the D-ring. Hole alignment. Measure a piece of wax thread that is the same length as the width of the package opening. Only one needle is needed. 4. Layer suture. Hole alignment. Hold the end of the line with your left hand. Sew the first stitch twice. Sew the 3 D-rings diagonally. Next, sew the decorative tag. This part is relatively simple. Sew with wax thread 3 times the width of the bag opening. 2 layers of leather and microfiber, 3 layers aligned and sewn together. Next, sew the zipper section. Zipper has large holes in the middle. Align with the large hole in the middle of the bag opening. There are large holes marked at the midpoint of both the microfiber and leather surfaces. And this microfiber leather, sewn on the side without the decorative tag. Added at the same time when sewing the zipper. Woven tape and microfiber leather strip on the same side. There are corresponding large hole markings here. You can use clips to secure and remind yourself to sew it up. The sides also need to be sewn together with small pieces of leather. Secure with clips in the same way. Measure out 4 times the length of the zipper in wax thread. The zipper is relatively long and is sewn into sections. Start sewing from the large hole in the middle. Passing through the large holes in each layer. Make sure the zipper pull is facing outward. Each layer of holes is aligned. Next is the large hole, which is sewn together with the microfiber strip. The microfiber strip is used in conjunction with the Velcro webbing. Confirm that the direction of the lining is correct. Repeat one stitch to reinforce. Reinforce both splice locations with an additional stitch. Sew to this position, adding small leather pieces. Come out from inside. There are many layers, and the holes on each layer are aligned. Reinforce the splice position with an extra stitch. Reinforce the splice position with an extra stitch. The side seam looks like this. Sew the zipper on this side using the same method. Sew to the midpoint on the other side. The microfiber and leather are perfectly aligned with each other, so you can check them. Halfway through sewing. Next, measure 5 times the length of the remaining hole. Continue suturing from the previous hole. Suture to this side. Align large holes. The superfine fiber strip is aligned with the large holes indicated by the arrows. Reinforce the splice position with an extra stitch.正背面的孔都缝好后，记得分别重复1到2针再断线 after sewing all the holes on the front and back. Remember to repeat 1 or 2 stitches, and then cut the thread. The zipper has been sewn. Then sew the handle and trim any excess thread. Trim the handle first. Bend the leather according to this hole. Turn it over. Trim the excess length according to this bevel. Be careful not to cut the leather. Like this. Then measure out a piece of wax thread twice the length of the handle. Cut 2 pieces of wax thread of equal length and sew them together to form a handle. This is the effect after sewing. At this position, reinforce both sides with an additional stitch. Insert the needle from the inside. Repeat 1 stitch. Sew up to here. Use any thread to sew up the holes above. Another thread is paused during shelling. Return to 续褶. Return to original position. Next, sew the two threads in a leftward direction. Sew the true handles together using the same method. Finally, tidy up all the threads on the bag. Put the computer on one side of the webbing. This allows you to secure the notebook on one side. The bag is finished. Thank you for watching.